To the Introduction to Biomedical Engineering class. I am Mr. Biomedical. This particular biomedical course, that is Introduction to the Biomedical course, is an extraordinary course actually. First of all, I need to share something about this particular course and what is the purpose of learning this particular course and what are the benefits you can able to get after finishing this particular course. That is a very important thing. Initially, what is a biomedical engineering? Actually, in worldwide, there are so many engineering courses are available. Over 20 plus engineering courses are available. For example, electrical engineering, electronics engineering, civil engineering, mechatronics engineering, aeronautical engineering, and some of the technological courses such as biotechnology, chemical technology, and information technology. There are so many courses like that. There are over 20 plus engineering and technology courses are available in all over the world. But the most important thing is the engineering course that is totally connected to the healthcare. That is the only engineering department called the biomedical engineering. Of course, I am not sure there are some of the engineering courses are also related to the healthcare technology. But the most important thing is 100% the engineering course that is totally relating with the healthcare. The totally benefits, the totally dealing with the healthcare technology is the course biomedical engineering. That is the only course that is totally belonging to the healthcare technology or totally connecting to the healthcare technology. Because as a biomedical engineer, we are manufacturing so many medical products. Okay, that medical product is especially not for the that is not for the automobile shop or not for the some other shops or some other technology. Especially this particular equipments, whatever the thing we manufacture, this is purposely for the hospitals. We are supplying each and everything, whether it may be minor or major or critical, whatever it may be, we are supplying that particular thing to the hospital. That is a very important thing. That is a very important thing you need to remember, because each and every product, whatever we are manufactured, that is totally for the hospital. Hospital is nothing but that is a healthcare sector area. Okay, that is the healthcare sector area. That is a very important thing you need to remember. Okay, then straight away we are just entering into the healthcare. There is an introduction to the biomedical engineering class. Before that, I've just give some of the small introduction about me. Myself, Pondian, I am from India. I graduated Bachelor of Engineering in Biomedical Engineering and Master of Engineering in Biomedical Engineering. I did Master of Business Administration in Hospital Management. And then I did Postgraduate Diploma in Hospital Management. Totally, I am just to spend my life with biomedical engineering. I love biomedical engineering. That is what initially I start my career as assistant professor. And then I started a company, and then I share my thoughts and the experience about the biomedical engineering to the beginners and the freshers, all the things. So now currently I am doing the business called that's this particular online courses business and a workshop, all for the biomedical engineers. My life is full of biomedical engineering. I want each and everything about the biomedical engineering. I need to share each and everything to the youngsters and the young biomedical lovers and the biomedical freshers. Okay, so that is what a small introduction about me. Then straight away we are, I want to share some of the straight away gone for the first slide, that is introduction to the biomedical engineering. Actually, of course, I already told you how far this particular engineering course is very important. Of course, you all know that this biomedical engineering is the only department that is straight away connected, 100% it is straight away connected to the healthcare technology. There are so many designations out there like sales, service, application, all the things we discuss later. So there are so many designations. All these peoples are working towards the biomedical engineering only for the purpose of manufacturing, selling, servicing, giving demo to the hospital equipment. That is a very important thing. That is a connection. That is an engineering that is connected to the medical through this particular biomedical engineering. Okay, that is what the introduction to the biomedical engineering courses we plan to do for some of the benefits to the youngsters. So what you will learn about this biomedical engineering through this course is first of all, what is the need of biomedical in healthcare? Through this particular introduction to the biomedical engineering classroom, you can clearly understand about what is an exact need of this particular biomedical course. Because biomedical, of course, I already told you a 90%. I already said about what is the importance of the biomedical engineering, because the doctors, if they want to predict any of the diseases, or if you want to predict any of the disorders of the patient, through the equipment only the doctors can able to predict. Through the symptoms or through the nature of the particular organ, that doctors can able to predict at least 50%, but 100% if the particular doctors predict this is the particular disorder you have, this is the particular symptoms, this is a particular disease you are affected by, all these things can be said by the doctors through the equipment. So without the equipment, the doctors can't able to predict some of the disorders, especially the particular person is met with an accident. How far this particular person is affected by, how far this particular the joints or the bones are affected, how far it is fractured, whether it is fractured or it is just a tear, all the things can't able to predict by the doctors to the naked eye. So for that, the equipment is very useful. The scanning equipment is very useful to predict where the exact position of the fracture is. So for that particular equipments and the scanning equipments, all the things is given by the biomedical engineer. So without the biomedical engineer, the doctors can't able to predict many of the disorders. Through the symptoms, the doctor can able to predict 50% of the disorder. If the particular person is affected by this disease, 100%, if you want to give the surety, with the equipment only it is possible. That is a very important thing. That is a very important thing the doctors need to understand about it. Okay. Then the second is why this field is important to the society. Of course, nowadays there are so many disorders out there. There are new diseases are coming through. The new disorders are coming through because nowadays the immune power of the human system is entirely different from 50 years back. 50 years back, the immunity power of the human being is extraordinary. But nowadays, because of the food nature, because of the culture change, the immune power of the human beings is entirely different. So because of the immunity power is reduced, because I'm telling about the immunity power is totally reduced compared to the 50 years back. Okay, so because of the reduction of the immunity power, the human being receives so many diseases and so many disorders because of their busy work, a busy schedule. He is running towards the work, running towards the office, running towards the college, schools. He is not taking a food properly. So without any food or without any intake, the human organs will be sophisticated. So it will be affected by some of the disorders. So the new predictable diseases, as the research says, in the 20 years back, the new diseases and the new disorders can be able to identify. We can identify because of the immune system collapse. The immune system of the newly generated people is totally collapsed because of the food culture he is having, because of the society culture he is having. So that is what. So for that particular way of diseases can able to predict only because of the biomedical equipments. Through the biomedical equipments only the doctors can able to predict what is the exact thing happen. For example, I am saying some of the example, the person receives some of the chest pain. Okay, the heart is present inside, that is an internal organ actually. Okay, the particular person receives chest pain. In the chest, not only the heart is present, the respiratory system is there, then your valves are there, and then your blood vessels are there, and then your digestive system tract is there, and your excretory system tract is there. All the things are there. Okay, and then your spinal cord is there. All the things is present in the chest, and ribs are there. So if the particular person receives pain in the chest, we can't able to predict through our naked eye the particular person is affected by the heart attack, the particular person is affected by some of the breathing trouble injury. So that kind of disorders can able to identify by the equipment called the ECG. The doctors can able to predict what is the exact condition of the particular patients through the patient monitoring system. Okay, so if the patient monitoring system is not available, if the ECG machine is not available, if the echocardiogram is not available, these are all the things, especially for measuring heart activity. Okay, the human vital parameters can able to predict using the patient monitoring system. If the particular equipments are not available, then the doctors felt very difficult to predict what the patient is exactly affected by. So that is what, if the biomedical engineers are not in the society, if the biomedical companies are not in the society, if the biomedical equipments are not in the society, then that is a very big headache for the doctors. Because if the doctors can't able to predict some of the diseases. The doctors can able to check whether the body receives any temperature or not. According to the symptoms the particular patient says to the doctors can able to predict this person is maybe affected by this disease. This person is maybe affected by this disorder. Okay, like that only the doctors can able to reply to the patient. If the equipment is along with the doctor, then the doctors can able to give the surety about 100% you are affected by this particular disorder. 100% this person is affected by this diseases. So according to that particular disorder or the diseases, the doctors can able to give any of the the surgery, or you are supposed to time this particular surgery, or you need to supposed to take these kind of medicines. Like that, he can able to predict. So 100% clarity can be given to the doctors only by the biomedical engineers. That is a very important thing. That is a very important thing we need to know about it. Along with the biomedical equipments and along with the biomedical engineers only, the doctors easily predict over what the person is exactly affected by, what the person is exactly caused the disorder by. So without the equipment, he can't able to predict. Okay, that is what this biomedical engineering is very important. That is the second point I'm talking about, why this field is important to the society. Without this particular field, the doctors felt very big headache to predict over some of the diseases. Okay, then the third point is how this particular electronics is connected with the human anatomy. Of course, whatever the equipment it may be. Okay, these are all the equipment. There are over 15,000 equipments are there. We can able to classify the equipment into the minor equipment, major equipment, and the critical equipment. Okay, so all these equipment, if you want to countable over it, there are over 15,000 equipments are there. Okay, all these 15,000 equipment, almost all these 15,000 equipments are relating with the electronics. Okay, all the things are made up of electronics. Whatever the small equipment you can able to take, that is a kind of electronic. Just take an example of the electrodes. Okay, that electrode is an accessory part actually. That includes some of the electronic part. That is called the transducer is there. Because of the transducer present in the electrodes only, it can able to pick the signal. So like that, 95% we can able to say 95% of the equipments are fully inbuilt by the electronic parts. Okay, even though that particular equipments are made up of electronics part, as a biomedical engineer, if you are only know about the electronics, is not at all suit for you. If you are knowing about the human anatomy, if you are knowing about what is heart, if you are knowing about what is the exact condition of the patient, excuse me, some of the students may join, I think so. I will admit them and then we will continue. Most importantly, my kind request to the participants is, can you please avail in the exact time, because we already crossed over 10 to 15 minutes, the class is got over. So if you are joined the class on exact time, that is very comfortable for us to explain about each and everything in the pyramid, because already 2 to 3 slides are got over. Even though you are receiving the recorded video, the straight live connection is very important to get a clarity about it. Okay, my small request is participants, those who are registering introduction to the biomedical engineering, whatever the course it may be, you just please be on time. That is a very benefit, that kind of benefits you can able to get through the live online course. Okay, okay, now I done a job. Okay, again I will share. Most importantly, my kind request to the participants is you please don't share your screen. Okay, that is very comfortable for me to share my screen. Already I crossed 2 to 3 slides. Okay, I will continue that. You can able to view the other videos, that is previous slides in the recorded video. Okay, I hope everyone can able to see the slides, right? Can anyone reply? Anyone reply me, please? You can able to see the slides, right? Any replies?
Yes, we can see the slide.
Yeah. Yes. Please, thank you. So that is what I said is what you will learn. What you will learn through this biomedical engineering. Of course, we already crossed over the 3 points. The fourth important point is how to find a job in the biomedical field. Once at the end of the course, at the end of this particular introduction to the biomedical engineering course, I supposed to say about how we can able to catch the job. What are all the things we are required to catch the job, and what is the possibility, what is the requirement you need to do at the same time, how to find the job. There are so many designations are there are so many scopes are there are so many manufacturing sectors are there nowadays. More than 100 plus biomedical engineering companies, multinational companies are there in India. So how we can able to catch the job over the particular companies, all the things we can able to discuss. And the last point, okay, so the first important thing is we are crossed over the introduction part and what are all the things very important about this particular biomedical engineering. And once you are getting a clarity about this particular biomedical engineering introduction part and basics part and fundamentals, and then we can able to go for the job oriented. Okay, then in the next part is actually everybody says that what is biomedical, because as a fresher, if you are entering now, you are a first year student or second year student, that is very difficult to know about what is biomedical. But if you are a fresher or if you are a graduate, you are understanding clearly about what is biomedical. Of course, okay, then we are just shifted. Of course, the biomedical engineering, without biomedical engineering, the doctors, I already said, the doctors can't able to predict some of the disorders. Through the symptoms and through the some of the causes, the doctors can able to predict 50% of the disorder. If the doctors can able to give the surety to the patient, this particular disease is affected by you, 100% if you want to give the clarity, through the equipment only, the doctors are able to predict the particular disorders or the disease. So, okay, so without the equipment, without the biomedical engineer, the doctors can't able to give the clarity about the particular disorder or the disease to the patient. Okay, so that is what the biomedical engineering is. Okay, of course, I can able to say the small example about what is bio, what is medical, and what is engineering. First of all, bio, of course, you are all know about it. Bio is nothing but the living organisms. All the living organisms are considered as a bio. Okay, so here in this biomedical engineering, I quoted about bio means that a human being. Okay, medical is nothing but it includes all the healthcare sector people. It includes the doctors, it includes the nurses, it includes the doctors' helpers, all the things, okay, and then engineering. You just keep on remembering. For example, the first term bio is nothing but the living being. If the particular person is affected by any diseases or any disorders or met with any accident, what is the next thing he can able to do? He straight away go to the hospital. Then what is the next job? The doctors is called for. And he asks them to predict what is the disorder exactly happened to the patient. What is the exact fracture happened to the patient. Okay, the doctors try to use his naked eye and the naked physical body. He can able to predict the 40% of the particular patient's illness. Okay, according to the symptoms and according to the blood loss and according to the area the particular patient received the pain, the doctors predict 40% this person is affected by this person having a fracture in this area. 40% only he can able to give the clarity. Okay, once he predict the 40%, what is the next step he need to do is he just admitted into the emergency ward, or according to the injury or according to the diseases or according to the disorders, the particular person is admitted into the operation theater or emergency ward, whatever it may be. Then what is the next step the doctors can able to do is the nurses can't able to do, because the nurses are just the helpers. Okay, so what is the next step he can able to do is he call for some of the equipment. He calls some of the nurses to get an equipment. Okay, first of all, if the person is affected by the, for example, went with an accident, he got an injured in the lower ramp. Okay, injured in the lower ramp. So what is the next step the particular doctor will do is he are supposed to take a scanning machine, whether it may be X-ray or a CT or whatever it may be. Through the report of the particular machine, through the output of the particular machine. For example, if it is an X-ray machine, the X-ray, the monitor shows that what is the exact condition of the particular injured area, whether the knee joint is fractured or whether it's a small tears, whatever sort of, it may be a minor or major. Through the X-ray monitor or through the scanning output only, the doctors can able to predict this is the exact position this person is affected by. Then what is the next step? He can able to go for whether he is gone for some of the surgery or minor surgery or major surgery, whatever it may be. So without that particular scanning equipment, without that particular X-ray or CT or whatever it may be, the doctors can't able to predict this is the 100% this person is affected by this particular area, this particular person is gone for a surgery like that. So that kind of equipment can able to manufacture, selling and servicing, giving demo by the engineers called the biomedical engineers. So that is what this biomedical engineering is entirely different from other engineering part. This is the only engineering department that is 100% it is connected to the healthcare technology. Of course, some of the engineering courses are also there that is little bit connected to the healthcare technology. Of course, we can able to say the nanotechnology, biotechnology, we can able to say as chemical technology, of course, and pharmaceuticals, of course. That are all the 50% or 40% that is connected to the healthcare technology. But 100% to the only engineering course that is totally connected to the healthcare sector is the engineering called the biomedical engineering. So that is what we are studying about this particular biomedical engineering nowadays, because most of the companies, most of the electronics based companies or electrical based companies, they start their business, they start funding their business, they start manufacturing the medical equipment. Of course, we can able to take an example of the General Electrical, Johnson & Johnson, Philips, Siemens, all are electronics company. But nowadays, what is their main business? They are manufacturing the healthcare technology products. Okay, they are all the leading manufacturers. Even though they are generating revenue in the electrical products. More than that, nowadays they are generating the revenue through this particular products. That is healthcare products. That is biomedical products. So that is what the business is. Okay. So nowadays, each and everybody is moving towards the healthcare technology because of the immune power of the human body is totally reduced. Compared to the 50 years back, the immune system of the human being is entirely different. But nowadays, the immune system is totally collapsed. Because of that, the particular person receives the new diseases, the new disorders. Just take an example of the COVID-19. The COVID-19, if the COVID-19 is spreaded over the 50 years back, it should not be affect the immune system of the human being. But nowadays, what happened? It is totally collapsing the population. Because of the immune system is totally collapsed. Because of the culture, because of the food we are taken. So like what I'm point is, because of the humans getting this kind of immune system, they are going to receive so many illness, so many diseases, so many disorders. So easily the virus will be affecting the immune system of the human being. So straight away, the next step what the person is doing is straight away go to the hospital and consult with the doctors. So the doctors also can't able to predict through the symptoms and through the physical nature. Through the equipment only the doctors can able to predict. So that is what my point is. Without the biomedical engineering, without the biomedical engineering equipment, without the biomedical engineering technology, the doctors can't able to predict these days diseases and these days disorders. So that is what the biomedical engineering is very important. Okay, and then of course there are so many streams out there nowadays. These are all the streams very booming nowadays. I just put a little bit. There are so many other technologies are also there. Artificial organs nowadays. 50 years back, 100 years back, if the person is affected by any accident, if the person is lost his legs, then what is the next word says by the doctor is, please lay down in the bed. You can't able to walk in your life days because you are lost your knees or you are lost your lower limbs. But nowadays it is not possible. Even though you are lost your leg, we can able to create an artificial leg. That is called as the prosthetics. We can able to create a artificial legs to the patient. Even though he met with a major accident, we can able to give make an artificial organ to as like as a natural organ. We can able to replace it. Okay, that is what the possible. That are all the things happen only because of the engineers called the biomedical engineers. The electrical people can't able to predict, can't able to manufacture the artificial organs. Electronics people can't able to make the artificial organs because the electrical people and electronics people are not knowing about the human organs, of course. So that is what, excuse me, some of the students are waiting in the classroom. I think I need to admit over and then I will present again. So that is what the artificial organ is very important. We can able to replace that particular artificial organ. Okay, if the particular natural organ is collapsed due to the injury or diseases, whatever it may be. Then the surgical robots. Some of the hospitals, especially in California hospitals, there is a robot called the Da Vinci. That is a first robot that has done a surgery. That is a major surgery he did, that particular robot did. But nowadays there are so many surgical robots are there that will help the doctors to take a small surgical equipment and everything. That are all in the operation theater that will help that will done the job. Whatever the helpers that do the surgeons. Okay, that is what happened because of the robotical engineer. Okay, biomedical engineers. Okay, then the prosthetics I already told you. Even though you have lost your legs, even though you have lost your hands, or even though you have lost your kidney and whatever it may be, we can able to create a prosthetics legs to you. You can able to create a prosthetic spinal cord to you. You can able to give a hip replacement. Hip replacement is also possible nowadays. Okay, why I'm pointing out to the hip replacement is nothing but all the other bones in the human body. Compared to the hip joints, all the other joints in the human body is not a typical one. Because there are so many joints out there. There are so many small bones and small joints and small connections out there in the hip. If you are study about the anatomy of the hip, that is very atypical when compared to the other joints. So that is also possible. We can able to make that particular thing in artificially. So that is also possible way to make advanced prosthetics. Okay, that is also done by the biomedical engineer. The person who can able to know about the human bodies. The person can able to know about the human organs. That particular person only, he can able to create a machine or the instruments or the devices to the patient, to the particular organ, along with the particular organ. For example, I'm saying about if the person is affected by the knee, totally the knee joint is collapsed because of the accident. If you want to replace the knee with the artificial knee, then what is the next step? If you know about the anatomy of the knee only, you can able to create at the same time, the structure of knee, the inclination given by the knee is entirely different by person to person. So he can able to observe the inclination done by the particular person. What is the weight of the person? What is the height of the person? How far he can able to walk? And according to that, we can able to make some of the biomechanical analysis of the patient. That are all done by the biomedical engineers only. Not the electronics people know about the knees, joints and everything and the anatomy of and the physiology of that. So that is what the engineers needed to make these kind of prosthetics. Okay, that is the biomedical engineering stream, main important. And then you have pharmaceutical, of course, the drug delivery systems are there, and the kidney dialysis. Even though your kidney is collapsed over, we can able to give the dialyzer machine to purify your blood. Okay, that is what we can able to say about it. Then the most important area I need to focus about it. There are so many areas. We are in the umbrella. There are so many biomedical. For example, biomedical engineering is an umbrella. There are so many branches of it. So many subdomains are there according to the concepts. So here the most important thing is biomedical electronics. Of course, I already told you 90% of the equipments are totally dealing with electronics. And of course, the biomaterials. I already told you if you want to replace any of the natural organ with artificial organ. For the artificial organ, if you want to make, you need some of the materials. That materials should be biocompatible. Okay, the biocompatible in the sense it should not be give any disadvantages or discomfort to the other organs. Okay, that is the biocompatibility materials are called the biomaterials. Using the biomaterials only we can able to make some of the internal organs, artificial internal organs. Okay, and then we can able to go for some of the computation is like a physiological modeling. We can able to go for modeling technology, that is a biomedical modeling technology, physiological modeling they called our. Okay, all these kind of the streams are very important. Medical imaging, nowadays the imaging is play a main vital role. Without imaging, I already keep on telling that the doctors can't able to predict. So that is what the thing is. There are so many domains out there. We need to focus about these kind of areas. Now, what are the things I am going to say is the 4 important things each and every biomedical engineer should know about these particular 4 things. If you know about the basics of these things, then you are called for a perfect biomedical engineer. Then only you are well furnished for searching a job and everything. Okay, the most important thing is initially, if you are entering into the biomedical field, first of all, you need to study about what is human anatomy. Of course, the 11 human systems are there. You need to study about the anatomical and the physiological nature of the particular organs and the systems. And each and every corner you need to know about as a doctor. Okay, that is a very important, because without the human anatomy, the doctors or the biomedical engineers can't able to use the machines. Okay, that is what the human anatomy is very important. And the second thing you need to note is basics of electronics. The basics of electronics is also very important. Once you are familiar about the human anatomy and everything, the next step what you need to do is you should study about the basics of the electronics. So basics of the electronics is nothing but the base level. That is, what is a resistor, what is capacitor, what is inductor, what is a transistor. So that kind of, and what are the laws, what is a voltage law, what is Ohm's law, what is Kirchhoff's law, and the theorem, the Thevenin theorem, superposition theorems. All these things, all the basics of electronics, you need to know about it. Okay, that is a very important, because all these 90% of the equipment, more than 90% of the equipments are totally dealing with the electronics. Okay, that is what you need to know about the basics of the electronics. Okay, what is SMPS, what is AC, what is DC, and what is microcontroller, microprocessor, and what are all the processing units, and each and the recent technologies. You need to know about the Python, of course. So that is what the basics thing you need to know about it. Then the next is instrumentation. Once you are familiar about this particular electronics and everything, the next thing you need to note about is instrumentation. Because the electronic component, using the electronic components, if you want to make some of the instruments, the process done between the making of the instrument and using of the basic electrical components is nothing but the instrumentation. Each and everything, if you want to make the devices or as a equipment, the instrumentation play a main vital role. You are using the circuit analysis, electronic devices and circuits. So that are all the courses. That is very important thing to study about the instrumentation. That is the third thing you need to know about it. Please remember, first of all, human anatomy. Second thing, you should have knowledge about the basic electronics. Okay, you should have that. The third thing, you should know about the basic instrumentation. Then, the fourth thing you need to know about is you need to study about the human body. And I'm not says about this is a repeated point. Okay, human anatomy is entirely different. You need to study about the anatomical and physiological nature of the human organ. What is the function of the heart is same as that of each and every person in the world. That is entirely different. This point, that is a human vital parameter, is nothing but if the heart function, if you study about the heart function, that is important. At the same time, the parameters of the heart, that is what is how much amount of heart beats there, how much amount of blood present in the human body, according to the weight, and what is BMI, that is BMI. Okay, body mass index. So all these things, parameters, what is the pulse rate, what is the blood glucose level, what is the cholesterol level, and what is the ECG, what is EMG, what is EOG, what is EEG. All these are called as the vital parameters. So all these things are not included in the anatomy part. In the anatomy, you are study about only the structure and the components and the functions of the particular organ. Apart from that anatomy, you need to note about the vital parameters of each and every anatomical organ. So that is a fourth thing you need to note about it. Okay, so these are all the the four major thing you need to remember about if you want to become a best biomedical engineer. Okay, the first of all, human anatomy, you need to know about it. And the second thing you should have some of the basic knowledge about the electronics. The basic knowledge is not a simple one. The foundation. If you want to build an extraordinary building, the foundation is very important. That is what the basic is important. The basic, the term indicated that the foundation. So you should strong in the foundation. Then only you can able to build yourself in the future. Okay, that is what the basic anatomy, that is human anatomy, basic electronics, and the third thing I have basic instrumentation, and the last thing, vital parameters. You should strong about the vital parameters. Then only you can able to know about the normal range and an abnormal range of the human body. So that is what I am telling about. Okay, so the vital parameters, you should know about it, and how we can able to calculate it, and what are all the machines to use to calculate that particular vital parameters. All the things are very important. That is the fourth point you need to know about it. Okay, so these are all the four important things you need to know about it. According to that particular thing only we can. Totally we have these 14 sessions are there. Totally we have 14 sessions. According to the parameters what we crossed over, the four parameters. According to that only we can able to frame the syllabus like this. Okay, in the session 1, in the session 2, and the session 3, session 4, up to session 10. We are crossed over all the sessions. That is all the important concepts that we are going to develop. That is what is human organs, and what are the in the electronics part, basic electronics part you need to remember, and what are all the vital parameters we are crossed over for. Okay, that is the thing we are supposed to do that. And then of course at the end of the session, at the end point of the session, that is the 12th session, 13th, 14th session, we are talking about the companies. We are talking about the designation of the pair. What are all the biomedical job designations are there? What are the biomedical job scopes are there? And what are the biomedical companies are there? And how we can able, what are the steps need to entering into the company? Okay, how far your resume level should be? How far your name is shortlisted in the interview? So all the things I'm able to discuss once you are crossed over all the introduction. Okay, so this is the plan. So this is the plan of this particular introduction to biomedical engineering class. So according to that, you can able to ask any questions during the class itself, or else you can able to ask your queries through the Google Classroom. Okay, so that is what in the next class, what we are going to do is actually the session 1 is got over. What and why the biomedical. That is the session 1 I am talking about today. Okay, what and why the biomedical. I hope so you can able to clearly understand what is biomedical and why the particular biomedical is needed to the society. Okay, so the next class what you are going to discuss about is the first parameter you need to note about, that is human anatomy. Okay, that includes the session 2, includes the 2 days. Okay, next Saturday and Sunday we are going to totally discuss about the human organs. Okay, there are totally 11 systems of human organ. What are all the 11 systems, and what are all the things we need to know about it, and what are all the things we are not been noted. All the things we are able to discuss in the next class. Okay, thanks a lot. If you have any queries or if you have any doubts over, you can able to paste it over, text it over through the Google Classroom. Thank you very much. In the next class, human organs. Thank you very much.